that college process. Okay. To start off with identifying a career area, I'm going to pass this along to our College and Careers Center.
College and Career Center Manager.
I'm sorry, Kelly.
Good evening. Today I'm going to be talking about how to identify a career. That is actually going to be one of the most important things when you are trying to develop which type of college you want to go to. Not every college is going to have your intended major. So you need to have a career interest at hand so you know which schools to start looking for that has your intended major and your intended type of curriculum you need to be successful in your career. So as high school students, I'm going to identify for you some ways to start developing your career plan. Okay, so I'm going to go through 3 steps. The first step is to take a realistic look at your strengths, your weaknesses, and your interests. So just to be honest with yourself, what are your skills? What are things that come naturally to you? Identify if there are some things that you struggle with, and this is a good way to start identifying what type of skills you're going to need as far as a career. So things that you need to consider when you're taking a look at your strengths and your weaknesses is, what do you think about yourself? So for example, where can I see myself as far as a career? What type of environment do I want to be working in? Where can I find success? We're going to talk about how you can achieve those goals in a little bit. We're also going to talk about what types of work and school courses. So for example, if you're a student who's struggling in a science class right now, but really are strong in math classes, then you want to start looking into some careers that you can use those math skills, because you don't want to have be going through college and be taking courses that you really struggle with, because eventually you're going to be struggling with that career. So you want things that are going to become natural to you, things that you can identify with, and you really want to look into something that you feel like you could be a strong professional in that career. You also want to look into your values in the long term. So do you want a career that you're going to be able to travel, or do you want a career that you're going to have consistency from day to day or working from 7 to 3, or do you want a job that there's going to be all types of variations in your job? Those are just things to think about while you're planning your career. The second is to explore your options. So right now I'm sure you're thinking, okay, well, how do I find out how to start exploring careers? Because I only really know of a couple different types of jobs. So where do I look? Well, in the appendix in the back, there is a list of all different types of career search engines and interest inventories. And what an interest inventory is a test that looks at your skills and your interests, and it matches you with a career. And later I'm going to talk about career cruising, and there's a matchmaker component which does just what I said. So next we're going to talk about spending time with people whose activities interest you. What we mean by that is Lockport Guidance Office really encourages job shadowing opportunities. So in the College and Career Center, I often help students all the time find professionals who are willing to post a job shadow opportunity for students. That way you're able to look and see what that job entails from day to day, and maybe you'd be surprised with it's not necessarily what you thought it was. Maybe there'd be some positives, some negatives, but you'd actually be able to see the daily routine of a professional. Now there's some occupations that they don't allow for students to job shadow. In that case, you can always ask that professional if they would do a professional interview with you. You would come prepared as a student, have a list of questions for that professional, and you can ask them, what are some things you like about your job? What are some things you don't like about your job? How can I attain that goal of becoming your profession? Other idea would be to volunteer or work in that job. Next, just to discuss your career and educational plans with your parents or your counselor. Are your parents they might not have your particular job that you're looking into, but they might have a friend, a relative, or someone that they know of that might have a job that you might be interested in, and they can make those connections for you, because networking is going to be key in your future. The last step is to create a plan to reach your career goal. So maybe you haven't identified necessarily the career, but you've identified the career path and the types of careers and skills that you're interested in. Now you need to figure out what you need to study, which means looking into that degree, and does it require an associate's degree, a bachelor's degree, maybe even a master's degree. and which types of schools have that curriculum and have that major or intended minor. We're going to talk to you later about how you will pay for school and how to look into financial aid opportunities. And then also, how will you balance your work and going to school? So let's say you do pick an occupation that does require a master's degree. By the time you're finished with your bachelor's degree, you're going to be looking into some type of job and possibly taking classes at night. So you have to look into the future and think beyond just going to college and what you're going to be doing in the future as far as a career. Okay, so now I'm going to quickly go through with you a quick example of how to use career cruising. Career cruising is the interest inventory that I use all the time with students in the College and Career Center. It's a tool that all of the guidance counselors use, and we strongly feel that it's a great resource for you. Okay, so you might want to take a few notes. All students have access to career cruising. The username is LTHS, and if you want to write this down in your notes, and the password is careers. Okay, so as freshmen, all of you have created a portfolio, and if you don't remember your username or password, you can always go to your counselor and they have that information. I've created a mock student that we're going to use as an example today. Sorry. Okay, so this student has already taken the career interest inventory, and what it's called is the career matchmaker. So this is your portfolio that you have, and you go back and look at what careers they matched you with after you took the assessment about your skills and your interests. So they have career cruising has identified for this student that they might be interested in the following careers: insurance, underwriter, money manager, appraiser, forensic accountant, etc. The reason why they were matched up is you can see the way this person answered the questions, that is how they assessed this individual. Now the reason why I'm showing you this is because this is the quick access as to how to figure out what this degree actually, what this career actually is. So at the sidebar in blue, you would look at the job description. Here they would talk about working conditions, earnings, educational attainment. So what I'm focusing on tonight is the educational attainment and what you need as far as a degree in college in order to attain this career. So quite briefly, it just demonstrates that you need to have a bachelor's degree in business for this career. And then it shows related college programs, or in other words, related majors. So you highlight this, you highlight the related college major, and it comes up with all of the schools in Illinois that have that major. Now let's say you want to look in the Midwest, you would just simply